Hey everyone, ever feel like you're playing a different game at work than everyone else, especially when it comes to career progression? Like you're doing all the right things, working hard, being a team player, being well, nice, but still not quite getting ahead. I definitely have, and that's why I picked up this absolute game changer called Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office by Los P. Franco. Let me tell you, it's not what you might expect, and it's been a real eye-opener. I came across this book because honestly, I was feeling a bit stuck. I saw colleagues, both men and women, seemingly glide into promotions and high-profile assignments, while I felt like I was constantly pushing a boulder uphill. And this book, oh boy, it just clicked. Frankel, who's an executive coach and psychotherapist, spent nearly 25 years working with thousands of professional women, and she noticed a pattern. Her big idea, her main message, is pretty straightforward, but it's a tough pill to swallow. Many of us, as women, unknowingly hold ourselves back in our careers because of how we've been socialized. She literally says, nice girls don't get the corner office. It's not about being mean or acting like a man, but about shedding those girlhood behaviors that no longer serve us in the adult professional world. So one of the first things she hits you with is that business is, at its core, a game. And not like a friendly picnic where everyone holds hands, but a competitive one with rules, boundaries, winners and losers. And guess what? We as women often pretend it's not a game at all, or we play it too safely, squarely within the lines. She uses this great analogy about playing tennis. She used to always hit the ball safely in bounds for fear of losing the point. But she realized she'd never win that way. Only when she started aiming for the edges, risking going out of bounds, did she actually start winning games. It's like, you gotta use the whole court, right? She highlights a client, Barbara, a marketing director who founded in a new industry because her polite, laid-back way that worked in banking was seen as weak and indecisive in the new, more competitive chemicals business. Barbara was playing a new game by old rules. Now, you might be wondering, why do we do this? Why do we unknowingly sabotage ourselves? And Frankel has an answer. It's all about socialization. From early childhood, girls are taught to be polite, soft-spoken, compliant, and really focused on relationships. Think about the messages we receive. Boys don't like girls who are too loud. Or, in response to anger, what's the matter? Is it that time of the month? These messages, constantly reinforced by media, family, and social norms, train us to be good girls. Even when we're grown women, it's often less painful to conform than to challenge it. Frankel organizes these self-defeating behaviors into 101 specific mistakes, grouped into categories like how you play the game, how you act, how you think, how you brand yourself, and even how you sound and look. Each mistake comes with a real-life example and concrete coaching tips. Let me give you a few examples of these mistakes that really resonated with me. One is mistake 3, working hard. We women are awful like little ants, just working, 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 sometimes feeling like we have to work twice as hard to be considered half as good. But pure hard work, she argues, doesn't guarantee promotions. It's about likability, strategic thinking, and networking. She gives this example of a woman who complained her male colleagues spent the first half hour of Monday rehashing football with the boss. While she was working away, the woman saw it as wasting the company's money, but Frankel points out that those guys weren't wasting time. They were building relationships and rapport, which ultimately got them prime assignments because the boss felt comfortable and familiar with them. It's about building connections, not just grinding away in isolation. Another one that truly hit home is mistake 8, waiting to be given what you want. How many times do we just hope our efforts will be noticed and we'll magically get that raise or promotion? Frankel's motto is clear: the squeaky wheel gets the grease. She tells a story about a client who discovered she hadn't received the signing bonus that everyone else had gotten after transferring to a new department. Instead of just asking, the client made up a negative story in her head, thinking she was being disrespected or was invisible. When she finally just assumed she was entitled to the bonus and asked directly why she hadn't received it, it turned out to be a simple administrative oversight by her manager. Imagine losing sleep and feeling diminished over something that was just a mistake. We often feel guilty asking for what's rightfully ours, equating it with taking something away from someone else. And speaking of feelings, let's talk about mistake 101, crying. It's something many of us struggle with at work. Frankel is very direct. There's no crying in baseball or the office. It's not about being unemotional, but about how it's perceived. She explains that crying can make you seem not in control, not competent, and weak. Her top tip: if you feel tears welling up, immediately excuse yourself and step away to compose yourself. Later, put words to those feelings, focusing on the problem that caused the tears, not just the tears themselves. She links this to women often substituting tears for anger because we're taught that expressing anger isn't ladylike or acceptable. It's about choosing a more effective way to express what needs to be said. She also dives into how we sound. Think about mistake 69 speaking softly, or mistake 62 using qualifiers like sort of, kind of, or perhaps we should. We often do this to avoid sounding too direct or aggressive, but what it really does, according to Frankel, is make us sound uncertain or hesitant. She says, much like physical space, taking the appropriate amount of time to verbally express ourselves is a sign of entitlement. It's about owning your voice and your ideas confidently. What I really appreciated is that Frankel isn't here to make excuses. She acknowledges that gender bias is absolutely real. Women still or less work harder and are often overlooked for promotions. But her powerful "so what" approach focuses on what we can control: our response, our choices, our behaviors. She was trained as an existential clinician, which means her job is to help clients see the array of choices available to them. For her, this book is unequivocally about empowerment, a term she fully embraces, despite some suggesting it's outdated, often by those who already possess power and might prefer not to share it. The book's structure is incredibly practical, which I love. It lists these 101 mistakes, each with a brief explanation, a relatable anecdote, sometimes even funny ones, though the situations are serious, and then, crucially, concrete coaching tips. It's designed for you to identify your specific self-defeating behaviors using a self-assessment at the beginning. You don't have to fix all 101 at once. She suggests picking just a few that resonate most and focusing on them, because small changes pay big dividends. She even provides a personal development plan template in the appendix to help you track your progress. So, is this book still relevant today, over a decade after it was first published? Absolutely. While some examples might feel a little dated in terms of technology or specific corporate structures, the core psychological and behavioral patterns women exhibit haven't disappeared. We might be more aware as a society that the subtle pressures to be nice, accommodating, or to prioritize others' needs are still very much present. The workplace still largely operates on unspoken rules and dynamics that were for a long time shaped predominantly by male experiences. And understanding that dynamic is crucial to navigating it successfully. If you've ever felt stuck, overlooked, or just like you're not reaching your full potential at work, this book is a must-read. It's not about becoming someone you're not, but about expanding your behavioral repertoire, having more choices at your disposal. It's about recognizing that old lessons from girlhood, while perhaps comforting, might be holding back the powerful, competent woman you're capable of becoming. So, if you're ready to quit being a girl and really take charge of your career, grab a copy. It's a journey, but it's one worth taking to truly thrive. Because as Frankel reminds us, success comes not from acting more like a man, but by acting more like a woman instead of a girl. Powerful stuff, right?